Tighten your seatbelt as we take you on this smooth ride.
Let's go!
It's the morning drive on 103.5 Ebona DFM, keeping your morning engaging as we take you through the smoothest ride on radio.
From 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
Getting your morning inspired, be informed. Let's interact only on the morning drive.
Make it a date with Martin Efanshuku, aka Meta.
And Christy, aka Emenari, aka Classy.
From Monday to Friday, from 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
On the morning drive.
103.5 Ebona DFM.
Good morning and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM. Today, the 4th day of January 2024. Today is Thursday and it's time for newspaper headlines on Abona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
You have the right to quality broadcasting. The National Broadcasting Commission says any person, group of persons, or organization aggrieved by the content of a broadcast or the conduct of a broadcast station may lodge a complaint
at least
to the
men
station
one or two
and
age then
all
about
right to
or
the
one
Director
out of
General,
80% of the work here I do it, but
Number
you
20,
but
Ibrahim
yet
Taiwo
you
Street,
still don't
Asaba,
understand what
Abuja,
is supposed to be
or
done.
send a
Isn't it?
mail via info@nbc.gov.ng. Please ensure that your complaint includes name of the broadcast station, title of the program, date and time of broadcast, and essence of the complaint. Also, remember to include your name, address, telephone number, email, and append your signature. Note that your complaint must reach the NBC within 14 days of the queried broadcast. NBC, your right to quality broadcasting.
You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making headlines on the Guardian newspaper, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, Sun, The Nation. This day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspapers. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-96661035. Can as well join us on Facebook as we are live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Drop your comments on the comment section of the live video. You can equally stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Fubara visits Diri with Rivers leaders, agree to work together for common purpose. Fresh concerns for public assets as repairs cost over 132 billion naira yearly. Atiku to lead opposition alliance against Tinubu ahead 2027 election. Ex-minister spawns summons as EFCC arrests NSIPA ex-boss. You have not met expectations. TUC tells Tinubu list demands. Boko Haram terrorists kill 12 residents in Chibok. President lacks political will to tackle insecurity. Stan Labo says. No apologies for backing Diri's re-election, says Jonathan. Adeleke plans quarterly performance review of cabinet members, threatens sack. ICPC probes alleged 6 weeks degree scheme by Cotonou Varsity. Quizzes undercover reporter. ICPC probes alleged 6 weeks degree scheme by Cotonou Varsity. Quizzes undercover reporter. Report projects hike in prices of staple foods. Akeredolu, Ayedatiwa absent as 8-day prayer holds in Owo. NNPC denies increment of a petrol price to 1,200 naira. More intrigues in Rivers as Abe, allies, supporters return to APC. Bank asks court to wind up oil firm over alleged 1.6 billion naira debt. Kebbi to establish commission for people with disabilities. Court hears 27 billion naira Kanu local government state joint account suit January 11th. Maritime workers threaten to shut down seaports nationwide. Gunmen kidnap 8 people in Port Harcourt. Ogun FMC nurses protest over non-promotion, poor working conditions. Ondo government suspends council caretaker committees over pending court cases. Obasanjo joins Mutara Muhammad's daughter for birthday at orphanage. 102,650 people to benefit from federal government's cash transfer program in Edo. Ondo PDP's SWC, NWC, Bika over suspension of Adams as chairman. Crisis in IPAC leadership. Yabagi heads to court. Uzodinma flags off distribution of rice to Southeast Christian Association of Nigeria. CNPP urges Tinubu to address nations FDI for economic growth. Abe, Mortgage Bank welcomes new board member. Oborowore moves to boost food production in Delta. Syringe company ends operations, announces temporary redundancy. PTDA leadership tussle. Court orders police to stay all actions. Your disrespect for Arebushala cost your defeat. APC caucus fires Oyetola. Tinubu's New Year address worsens national woes, says Babalola. Kanu government promises residents more dividends of democracy. PDP support groups fault Tinubu on suspension of NSIPA boss Halima Shehu. University of Ibadan Vice Chancellor Olayinka pays tribute to Falase at 80. Rights group push for reform of Aramajiri system of education. You cannot fight corruption with corruption. Nigerians react to suspension of NSIPA boss. Fubara visits Diri with Rivers leaders. Agree with taking this. Gunmen kidnap 8 people in Port Harcourt. Speaker Abbas commends Wajabia Miller's unmatched record in legislature, infrastructure. Tinubu lacks political will. We've taken this. Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps rescues suicidal woman who jumped into river in Osun. Lagos records first rain in 2024. Governor Adeleke reads riot act to cabinet members. Police probes officers alleged conspiracy in preacher's murder. Federal government bans Port Novo, Hodwe, 16 other foreign universities. Uzodinma urges Christian Association of Nigeria to pray for Tinubu's administration. School feeding. Presidential aid commends Tinubu on 100 billion naira allocation. FRSC gets new spokesman, redeploys 2 DCMs. 2 German-based technocrats dole out 50 million naira to empower 2,000 Imo youths. Promote natural gas. Minister urges private sector. Chaibu apologizes to Oshomole, says governorship ambition divine. That's the much we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Still on the headlines making the news this morning, from the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to Leadership newspaper. Ex-agitators disagree over amnesty office operations. 2 die in crash involving Sokoto deputy governor's convoy. United Arab Emirates confers Medal of Honor on Nigerian ambassador. Federal government may return Atala oil field to Bayelsa, Lokobiri. Rivers Assembly issues disclaimer on his resignation. Federal government to extend suspension of degree accreditation to Uganda, Kenya, others. Nimet wants pilots asthma patients over hazy weather. NNPC marketers deny clash over fuel pump price. Ayedatiwa suspends Ondo local government chairman. Ayedatiwa suspends Ondo local government chairman. Debt pardon for African nations impossible. Obasanjo. NUC bust 58 illegal varsities in Nigeria. Arrest proprietors. Government launches probe as fire got para COVID-19 center. Debt pardon for African nations. We've taken this. NGX all share index records 2.04% surge. NGX all share index records 2.04% surge. NNPCL denies reports of increased PMS prices. Arrest of fraudulent candidates, indication of transport recruitment process army. Ayedatiwa suspends Ondo local government, LCDA caretaker, chairman indefinitely. Rivers police arrest notorious cult leader for murder, cultism. Arrest of fraudulent candidates, indication of transparent recruitment process, army. Rivers police, we've taken this. Hoodlums kill a man, Okada rider in fresh Plateau attacks. Bayelsa, no apologies for backing Diri's re-election, says ex-president Jonathan. No show as Super Sports fails to secure AFCON 2023 broadcast rights. Victorious 1985 under-17 coach Broderick's Emoson dies at 85. CAS approves specialized insurance policy for Air Force personnel. Nigeria faces decline in maize, wheat, millet production. Report. Gunmen kill 4 in Nasarawa supermarket raid. Kwara politician Ajia tax Nigerians on building strong economy. Resignation. Rivers Assembly issues disclaimer against ex-speaker Ehi. Sexagenarian arrested for defiling minor in Adamawa. Ndidi ruled out of AFCON due to injury. Yusuf in as replacement. That's the much we can take from the Leadership newspaper this morning. Chaka ka ọ na-achọ mbụ onye ahụ. Ihe agwa ka ọnọdụ ofu ebe maka ngwa enwekwuo studio ka ọ chọrọ ịpụrụ ebe a ngị na-ekwu ụkwụ na-abata na maịk ebe a ikwesị imechite ụzọ a bifo ngị na-ekwu anything. So ihe emekwa ka ụmụ nkịta na ọnọdụ ebe nkwupe mme na ekwu n'okwu anything ya nọdụ quiet ya wee mechite ụzọ emechi. Ndị ihe mụta ọrụ mụta na ọrụ. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the Leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to Vanguard newspaper. ICPC probes Cotonou Varsity over alleged certificate racketeering. EFCC to quiz ex-minister Farouk Sadia over alleged 37 billion naira fraud. Depose CEO of NSIPA CEO talking to EFCC as Sadia Sean's invitation. Be hopeful of better future. Oyebanji advises outgoing council chairman. PTDA leadership tussle. Court orders police to maintain status quo. Niger Dog. UNIDO, NIPC in talks to foster investment, tech partnerships. Ayedatiwa suspends council caretaker chairman. Africa's next generation will bear huge debt burden. Obasanjo. DBN honors FCMB for supporting small, medium enterprises, green projects. Suspension of NSIPA CEO. Diversionary. PDP coalition slams Tinubu. Disquiet as terror attacks on Abuja Middle Belt towns continue. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. No options for next generations on Africa's debt. Obasanjo. Oshun appoints 6 new traditional rulers, elevates 11 others. No alternative to Nigeria borrowing. Previous government left empty treasury. Osoba. Magnus Abe returns to APC. Bajabiamila's record in National Assembly can't be matched. Speaker. Fake degree. I'm worried over my safety, says undercover journalist. Benue. Idoma Traditional Council pegs all marriage rights at 50,000 naira. 17 die, 18 injured in Kwara Kaduna auto crashes. Boko Haram terrorists kill 11, abduct 1 woman in Chibok. Police rescue kidnapped victim, kill 2 suspected robbers. That's the much we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. Army recruitment. Northerners arrested for attempt to take Lagos slots. Army recruitment. Northerners arrested for attempt to take Lagos slots. Air Chief approves accident insurance for personnel. Mbise in diaspora proposes specialist hospital CCTV to tackle insecurity. Anambra community elects leaders, plans new security strategy. Stakeholders endorse Labour Party aspirant for Ebonyi South rerun. Kalu urges youth to shun violence, embrace peace. How communities can access philanthropic support. Madinobi. 2 die in Sokoto. Deputy governor's convoy accident. Police return rescued traffic children to Bauchi. Appoint ex-factional speaker as chief of staff. IYC urges Fubara. 102,650 Edo residents to benefit from federal government cash transfer. Foundation urges government to support children's development. Afrexim Bank to finance Enugu key projects. Tinubu unveils Southeast Peace Initiative, pledges commitment. Security vote, not pocket money for governors. Ngige. Leverage technology to enhance operations. Anambra ICT boss tells citizens. Stakeholders seek cultural rebate to combat insecurity. Council plans subsidize foodstuff for residents. Lagos intensifies clampdown on street traders. Reps unveil 80-bed hospital for Lagos community. Federal government to withdraw recognition of Kenya, Uganda, Niger varsities. Edo poll, Labour Party aspirant woes monarchs. EFCC threatens Buhari ex-minister's arrest over 37.1 billion naira fraud. Family, associates hold prayers for Akeredolu in Owo. Ondo ex-rep declares governorship ambition, says state mismanaged. Gunmen kill 1, kidnap 2 in fresh Plateau attack. Tinubu will return Bayelsa oil field taken under Buhari minister. Idoma monarch outlaws expensive funerals, pegs bride price at 50,000 naira. I was sure of re-election after Jonathan's endorsement. Diri, ex-Sierra Leone president indicted in failed coup, relocates to Nigeria. Hasten harvest to allow cows graze. Gombe tells farmers. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to Daily Post newspaper. Nigerian government released list of over 37 illegal universities in Nigeria. Generations will pay from current Africa's debt. Obasanjo, Interior Minister, unveils training on automated passport application. Alleged 37 billion naira fraud. Buhari's minister churns EFCC summon. Governor Muhammad receives 7 children trafficked to Kano from Bauchi. Delta Monarch reverses father's curse on community. Ban sports betting in Nigeria. Omokri tells Tinubu. Governor Bago inaugurates Varsity's 16-member governing council. We are dying. Nurses protest in Ogun. Plateau killings. We need permanent solutions, not palliatives. Senator Dickett planned. Minimum wage. All agreements between labor, federal government must be implemented. TUC. Akeredolu deserves state burial. Governor Ayedatiwa. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. From the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Sun newspaper. Marketers seek offshore refiners support to crash petroleum products cost. Why it will be almost impossible for Nigeria to secure another debt relief. Obasanjo, Nigeria grants asylum to Kurama, ex-Sierra Leone president. While war extends beyond Gaza as Hamas leader is killed in Beirut. 102,650 persons to benefit from federal government's cash transfer program in Edo. Federal government suspends evaluation, accreditation of degree certificates from Benin, Togo. Plateau killings. North Central governors unite against bandits. How I escaped Boppy traps laid by my predecessor, Ogun. Oshun governor. How I escaped Boppy traps laid by my predecessor, Oshun governor. Government will continue to borrow because past regime left empty treasury. Osoba. Magnus Abe dumps SDP for APC. Governorship. Can Supreme Court quench the fire in Kano? Plateau State. We will replace departing officials. Benue PDP. I have no apologies for backing Diri's re-election. Jonathan. PDP can't serve as sensible, credible opposition. APC. Poor customer service led me to develop video banking solutions. Olibo. Saw Port Inc. boss. No plans to hike petrol pump price. NNPC Limited. Federal government clears waste on Port Access Road. Marketers seek offshore refiners support to crash petroleum products costs. Why it will be almost impossible for Nigeria to secure another debt relief. Obasanjo. Still on the stories making headlines on the Sun newspaper this morning. Ihanacho hopes to join Super Eagles before start of AFCON. Chukwueze, Lukman, 17 others land in Abu Dhabi. The proliferation of fake food products. The corruption scandal in humanitarian ministry. And that's the much we can take from the Sun newspaper this morning. From the Sun newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Consultant seeks rehabilitation of 72,000 egg capacity hatchery. Bank guest director unveils growth plans. Zaria rebel Osadebe dies at 89. Board warns workers against sharp practices at prayer. Group vows to complete 40-year-old abandoned hall. Old set stresses importance of alumni. Cleric urges citizens to unite for development. EFCC freezes 30 billion naira NSIPA cash traced to private accounts. Government kicks off issuance of automated passports. Federal government cash transfer scheme for 102,650 Edo beneficiaries. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Shehu Kuti, I am ready to defend libel suit over P&ID. He was never Rivers House of Assembly Speaker, says Clark. By election, 4.5 million voters to elect 3 senators, 16 reps, February 3rd. Chief Imam, Okada operator killed in fresh attack on Plateau community. Ex-Sierra Leone President Koromo heads for Nigeria on asylum after treason charges. Abbas, lawmakers won't drop constituency projects. Ayedatiwa suspends council's caretaker chairman. Sacked Oyo council bosses reiterate confidence in judiciary. Supreme Court, Chief Justice of Nigeria. Kingsmen, former associates hold prayer for Akeledoru. Atiku to take 7th shot at presidency in 2027, says Biwala. And that's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Nation newspaper, we'll flip over to this day newspaper. Kuramo arrives Nigeria today for political asylum after alleged role in failed coup. CBN issues fresh guidelines on cryptocurrency operation. Obaseki, how we revolutionized Edo's healthcare system in 7 years. NNPC, Ipman, we have no plan to increase petrol prices. Federal government orders immediate implementation of 50% automatic deduction from agencies, IGR. Obaseki, okay, we've taken this. Jonathan, I owe no apologies for backing Diri's re-election. Cotonou degrees, ICPC probes academic qualifications from foreign institutions. 44 billion naira fraud, EFCC freeze, reinvites suspended NSIPA National Coordinator, Halima Shehu. You're listening to newspaper headlines on Ebona at 103.5 FM. We will now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines. Please stay with us.
NNPC, NNPC, when you hold, when you ABC, yeah. Oh, we are NNPC, but I'm not APC. When you hold, yeah. God, they are happy. Hey, they are happy. Now, what do you give out APC? Oh, they are happy. Okay, well, they are happy. APC. Now what do we? Okay, fella, ABC. Now what do we? Oh, we have ABC. ABC. Go and register now in your ward. Get Bob. The new APC is here in Anambra. This is sponsored by Sapol Chukuma, Onwa Umeru, Onye Chinazo, Anocha.
Nande Bugana Nambarana, Wono Wogidiana Mo, Onwado, Gaze Tomaya Gabezina, no Wuriana, even you don't Guana. Kandi mozi get to go to live and you don't go and have anywhere. O Jesulige Nandogwa, Nebuwa, Emalo.
Anyị jụhere a wee na-akpọgo oku ka ị bịa sonye na mmemme akwamozu nke High Chief Ifeanyi Michael Udokwu Ekwueme Onowu Ogidi onye jibu ọkwa Deputy Chairman All Progressives Girls Alliance APGA na Anambra State ma bụrụ onye bụbu memba APGA Board of Trustees ma bụrụ founder Doka Furniture. Ọ rapụrụ ụwa lapụrụ onye nwe anyị ka o rechara ahụ ntakịrị oge na England ma ọ gbara afọ 71 wee la mmụọ. Mmemme akwamozu ụbọchị Wednesday abalị 10 n'ọnwa Jenụwarị afọ 2024 a ga-akara ya ụka ịmụ anya abalị na ngwurube ya ma ọ kwelekere ise n'ọgụruchi n'uru Ezalụ Village Ogidi na ncherịta iru the Palace of His Royal Majesty Igwe Alex Ụzọ Onyido abalị 11 ka ọnwa Jenụwarị afọ 2024 ọ kwelekere 8 nke ụtụtụ e ga-eburu ozu ya bute na Ogidi Town Hall dote ya ka akpọchere ugwu ikpeazụ ọ kwelekere 10 nke ụtụtụ akara ụka onye nwere ahụ na Our Lady of Assumption Catholic Church Ogidi emechazie eli ozie ngwangwa gbasakara ụka na ngwurube ya ọ rapụrụ ụmụ ya anọ ka ha na-eruju ọnwụ ya tinyere nwunye ya bụ Iyom Antonia Udokwu Osodieme na ọtụtụ ndị ọzọ bụ ndị metụtara ya Onowu Ogidi wee zụbike ido n'ime onye nwe anyị amen. Ndị bịara aka n'ọkwa abụ His Royal Majesty Igwe Alex Ụzọ Onyido Igwe Eze Chiomagha na Ogidi na Pastọ Eze Akọ Udokwu
0032763826
n'aha ezinụlọ.
Vacancy. Port David Hotel Ogidi is looking for young men and women to apply for the positions of manager, receptionist, cleaner, bar attendant, cook, etc. Submit your CV today at Port David Hotel Ogidi, located through Ubunwa CK Junction by Old Road towards the express at the main entrance to Unique Estate. For more information, call 090-6461-259 or 070-3418-9596.
How best can we talk about the challenges we are having on our streets, our community, our society in general? Street report. If we do not address these challenges on Ebonadi FM, who will? As the happenings around us get as complicated as they can be, Street report is here to make sense of it all. Street report is causing social change across your streets. In your community, Street report is here with hardcore journalism to get to the roots of our problem. Why don't you join me, Martin number the first every Friday, 4:30 p.m. on Ebonadi 103.5 FM as Street Reports unfolds
In your face.
on Emas in Ebonadi corner
24/7. 24/7.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of this conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08096661035. You can as well join us on Facebook as we're live at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Stream us online via mixlr.com/gistfm. We are on to this day newspaper. Obaseki, how we revolutionized Edo's healthcare systems in 7 years. NNPC, Hypeman, we have no plan to increase petrol prices. Jonathan, I owe no apologies for backing the risk re-election. Stock markets up 847 billion naira on investors' interest in UBA, 77 others. Enang, membership, learning and development will drive growth in NIMN. Unilever rewards drivers, moles zero road fatality for transporters. Tingo Mobile launches advanced EPOS system to boost transactions. How sector challenges may make or mar telecoms industry growth in 2024. How sector challenges may make or mar telecoms industry growth in 2024. We say federal government not gender inclusive in appointments. Owoseni, cutting edge technology will revolutionize payment system. Obi Edozian, only constitution amendment engender desire change in Nigeria. Obi Edozian, only constitution amendment will engender desire change in Nigeria. The twists and turns in Anambra politics. Ondo 2024, Ayedatiwa chops for the governor, deputy governor as political permutations change. Which southern governor can wear Akeredoru's shoes as Plateau celebrates Black Christmas? Obaseki tightens nose around Shaibu. Chief of Defense Staff offers remedies to insecurity, a model for peace and good governance. Tax ahead of Ayedatiwa. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune. Lagos traditional ruler calls for probe into National Theatre gas explosion. Bauchi governor issues stern warning to informers of criminals. National Association of Nigerian Students opposes 1,200 naira fuel price hike. Adeleke sets up unit to review cabinet members' performance. NGX bulls persists as benchmark index as 2%. Bishop Oparojiako. New Year message reveals God promises to Nigerians. 5 facts about under-17 World Cup winning coach Sebastian Broderick. Wajabia Miller urges Nigerians to be patient. Commissions projects in Surulere. Nigeria must develop new ways of shoring up its economy. Speaker Abbas. Anambra ICT agency charges ministries, departments, agencies on technology to enhance operational processes. Hajj 2024, take advantage of deadline extension. Kaduna agency advises intending pilgrims. Ogun implements learners ID system, reports improved discipline. FUNAB ranks best university of agriculture in Africa. Nigeria's bureaucratic process is retrogressive. PDP chieftain. That's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. We will now flip over to our WhatsApp portal to bring you reactions this morning. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. It's coming from Comrade Manli Oduago from Odumobosi, and he says, having watched and studied the unfolding scenario in our dear country, Nigeria, it is not falsity to say that our youths, the bedrock of our society, unfortunately, are products of a failed opportunity and a lost generation. They are idle and hungry for no cause of theirs. An idle person, no doubt, is the devil's workshop. No wonder our political elites use them for negative purposes like kidnapping, murder, assassination, arson, political thuggery. The list is endless. My plea is that our leaders at all levels, rather than play the ostrich game, should rise to the occasion in their manifold responsibility and reverse the deadly trend for the betterment of all and sundry. Comrade Manli Oduago from Odumobosi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We have this message. It's coming from Agunabo, and he's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo. And it says, the woman that wants to commit suicide. This is the type of news we hear in a country where hunger strikes. Despite a lot of money being borrowed and dispatched, and the killings in Nigeria have become a drama, and it's no longer a news. We are in a country where constitution is not working, no security, no hospital, no killing. It says killings everywhere. How can a country? And it says, when all these things are not addressed properly, we are watching. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, we have this message. It says, embezzlement, Buhari government probed. Okay, probed Goodluck Jonathan government. Now, Buhari ministers are the ones that actually wrecked the country. Sokoto State Deputy Governor's convoy involved in an accident is a sad news. They should always drive with caution. Some of them at times interrupt traffic just for them to pass. Nigeria have moved from oil producing country to oil importation country. Very sad. Current Ondo governor should take things easy. Power comes from above. Some people think that it is by their doing, forgetting God's grace. White Lion of Africa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Christian Upundu from Onitsha. And it says, Boko Haram has been killing people at will, and I have not seen anything tangible being done by the security agents to stop it. Rather, they directed all their attention towards southeast, where there is no terrorist attack. Nigerian military, where are all your armor tankers that you used to pile up in the southeastern region? Or have you lost your military might? Does this mean that you fear Boko Haram, or that you support their attack on innocent people? One of the above reasons must be your aim of not doing what you are expected to do. And he continued and says, government will continue borrowing. This is the type of story or statement expected to be hearing from weak leaders who do not think we will, and also from some incompetent leaders. Does it mean that if Nigeria does not borrow some money from the other countries, that she cannot live? This borrowing habit of our leaders has made them not to planning or thinking ahead of what to do for the citizens of the country. Rather, they focus on how to suck our mutual purse dry. He continued and said, Nigeria should stop deceiving the gullible by pretending that she wants to fight insecurity while she is okay. And he says, how can Nigeria stop insecurity? Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It is coming from okay, this one is coming from Valentine Edene from Mpo, and he says, most of them said citizens will pray for Nigeria. Likewise, P2B said in few days back, but why only job easily offers to masses is prayer? Why those leaders are planning every day and night to put their grandchildren in paradise on earth, while poor masses will be fasting and praying in Western world? It is not done so. Who is fooling who? Hunger is open fire to many citizens, and unknown gunmen are killing too. Where will masses run to? And he says, all our leaders are reluctant for insecurity in the nation due to their children are not here with us, and troops of army that are supposed to be securing one community are following two persons in white man countries. These are enough for masses to come out with placards for. Okay, and he says, here in Nigeria, they ask us to fold our hands and pray for them. Bible said, wicked one will never go unpunished. Valentine Edene from Mpo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll now flip over to our SMS portal to bring you more reactions. From our SMS portal, we have this message coming from Ogochukwu Ifechukwu from Ogidi, and she says, our leaders have put Nigerians in bondage. The country that borrows always is in bondage. May God deliver us. Amen. Ogochukwu Ifechukwu, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message coming from Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe, and he says all of these killings and gross kidnappings taking place in all states in the nation, does it mean that there is no president in this nation, or is it that the president acts when money is involved? Is God okay? God is watching until we all perish in this nation. And he says, before intervention, what is happening in the nation is not far from the hostility going on in Gaza. Article that is still warming up to take over government from Tinubu will give way for new breed of younger politicians, as the walking stick and the thick eyeglass has not done the nation good. The nation is bleeding. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Honorable Onyebdeka Osakwe. We also have this message that it says no plan to increase fuel pump price by NNPC. Okay, NNPC is a good one. Sir White from me. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we also have this message coming from Honorable Onyedeka Osakwe once more, and he says the Benin drama between Governor Obaseki and his deputy is like a cat and dog video play, as the do has exhibited gross selfishness. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we also have this message that says kudos to Governor Soludo on his remarkable service in Anambra State, and may the souls being killed in Plateau State rest in the Lord. This is coming from Sir Wingate Ikechukwu Nwakeze from Okosu. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our SMS portal this morning, we have this message coming from Obaka from Abu, and he said the continuous increase in fuel pump price may break Nigeria in 2024. APC government is misanthropic and consumable. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our SMS portal, we flip over to our Facebook portal. We have this message coming from Ozo Francis Nnamani from Amagunze in Enugu State, and he says the federal government should do everything possible to address the incessant killings in Plateau State. Honestly, it is getting out of control. May God help us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. On our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message that says, how long will Nigeria continue to borrow? What are the reasons of borrowing? Imagine that this money are borrowed from for consumption, not for investment. Corruption is Nigeria's problem. Kenneth Ndubisi Okafor from Umueze, Umunachi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. It's coming from Obiora from Okozu, and it says, also them to flag off rice distribution to Christian Association of Nigeria and tell them to pray for Tinubu. It's a shame to Christian Association of Nigeria for rewarding them a bag of rice for supporting Uzodinma. Judas was rewarded with 30 silver coins. This 2024, God will soon expose the evil people in Nigeria. If Nigeria wants insecurity to stop, Buhari must be arrested. Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message coming from Akidi Amoke, Onyana Bana Umunachi, and it says, as we have entered another year, please, federal government should minimize the borrowing for this 2024, and also may the soul of those that were killed in Plateau rest in peace. Thanks. From Akidi Amoke, Onyana Bana Umunachi. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning. Once is 7 o'clock, so keep a date and don't touch the dial of Ebona. The 103.5 FM. Once is 8:20, we'll be back with Birthday Splash. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a fabulous morning.
Man is a political animal. That's why we all have our views on politics. Political View comes to you at Ebona, the 103.5 FM. It's Martin Ifeanyi Chukwu every Monday, 3 o'clock p.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's all about the day-to-day activities in the Nigerian political space. Views of political actors from various political parties on political process. Views of labor leaders, and most importantly, your views. Views of the common Nigerian. Tune in to Ebona 103.5 FM or you join online via mixlr.com/gistfm every Monday and Saturday. What are your political views? Keep a date. All day, every day. Who's bad? Hit it. Ebona, the 103.5 FM.
Hello, Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, the most favorable day of the week. So hook up with DJ Easy every Friday by 9 p.m. on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. This is a program where we bring onto you entertainment and the best of fun, and also give you the privilege to make some music requests. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Don't miss this every Friday night by 9 p.m. with DJ Easy on Ebona, the 103.5 FM of the day. Hello, Friday.
Biko nwanne m bekene ka m jụọ gị kedu ebe m ga-enweta ezigbo MC maka
If
mmemme
you
a
like to
na-akwado?
subscribe and share, right?
Ikamajuaju kpọọ Shaka Shaka, the latest MC in town, ka occasion gị anwa bụrụ